Hey Patreon, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness, but you guys know that because you're here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I'm honored by your presence. This video is the spirit of resistance. Passive resistance, active resistance, that kind of stuff. What am I talking about? I'm talking about like mask mandates. Just don't wear it, you know? I mean, there's some things we're going to have to resist. We resist gun control. We resist taking of our freedoms in different ways. Have we been successful? Some things we've been successful, some things we're not successful about. Resisting mainstream media taking over things. Resisting censorship. Resisting gun control. Resisting RNA vaccines. Resisting lockdowns. Resisting all this stuff that is unconstitutional and or just not right for our God-given rights. All right, sometimes we need to make a stand. Sometimes it's passive. Here's one thing I've done passive resistance in the past. I really don't like the police state and all the cameras and all the monitoring of where we are and stuff, where we go. So I know it's a little thing, it's kind of stupid because the camera still sees my license plate and stuff like that. But we have these roundabouts. And the cameras aren't there anymore. I guess it was just there for a while. They've had cameras at all three roads coming to the roundabout for when it was new, to make sure everything's flowing properly, because they took them down after like a year or something. But anyway, what I would always do is I'd always flip my visor down and I'd lift my head up like that so they can't see who's driving. They can see what vehicle it is and who owns it, of course, like that. But it was something I just did. It was silly, I know, kind of. But it was a passive resistance. We can do things like that. Like when I walk into Walmart, they have that camera on the wall right when you walk in the door for identifying. What it does is it identifies like people they've had problems in the past, like thieves, and it's a security measure. You know, who goes in and out. So what do? I have I have a ball cap on, and I put my head down like this, and I walk in such a way that the camera never sees my face, ever. Because I know the store cameras still pick me up all over the place. I get it. But I'm not going to give them anything more than I have to. We have to stand. We have to resist things as we can. That can be voting. That can be writing letters, writing emails, making phone calls, holding rallies, holding counter-protests, peaceful protests, of course. It means not doing the status quo, being prepared. Not being part of the big government. Don't take handouts unless we absolutely have to for a short period of time. It means self-reliance, growing your own food, raising your own animals, being prepared, being outside of the system as much as possible, being debt-free. These are some things that we can do to resist what's going on. We can choose not to participate in things. We can choose what stores we shop at. We can choose the stores we don't shop at. We can choose what social media we're on, what information we give out, OPSEC, PERSEC, InfoSec, all those kind of stuff, all those different security things that we think about. So I encourage you guys to resist what you can and how you can. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's more difficult. Like I said, sometimes we're successful, sometimes we're not. Voting is a big part of it. Cutting down on voter fraud. Reporting things you see. If you see, a male person doing something inappropriate with the mail, or somebody stealing mail, or anything, voter intimidation, don't let it happen. Resist it. Show up anyway. Show up in force with a bunch of people. Show up armed, whatever. I don't know, whatever you feel like doing. But the point is, we need to resist what we don't agree with. And we need to group together. We need to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Like I talk about assets and liabilities. We need to, as a community and as Americans, we have a right to participate in our government, and we have a right to participate in what we, or disagree with what we disagree with, or agree with what we agree with. So we need to find ways, brainstorm, war game, different ways you can go about doing it. I don't have all the answers. You may find something, you may think of something that you can do, like rainwater collection. Off-grid power, farmers selling raw milk, people selling eggs to each other, stuff like that. You can do it, neighborly kind of thing. Keep the government out of it. I don't like the government in most things. They screw up most things. I like free market capitalism. That's what works, because if a company's failing, it just fails. We shouldn't be propping it up. We shouldn't be bailing them out or anything like that. If they have failed business practices, then let them fail, period. That creates growth for somebody else to step in that has good practices and good business practices and good head on their shoulders and a good process for them to step in and fill the void. That's growth. That's what we need to be doing. But we also need to be doing, resisting the things, standing up for what we believe in, having our voices heard. So this is just an encouragement to get involved, to go to rallies, to go to counter protests, to go to, to get out and vote, to do what you can when you can so that you can affect a positive change in our nation. It's going to take all of us. It's going to take everybody on board. And the big thing is fighting censorship in the mainstream media. I get demonetized on here on YouTube all the time. Subscribership has been extremely slow. They're still attacking me. And I don't know sometimes what I'm doing wrong, because I see other channels out there that are putting out even more aggressive type videos and controversial type videos, and they're growing massively. So I don't know if it's just that they're growing massively but not getting monetized, or what they're doing. I don't really shoot for either. I just want to reach more people. But that's why I'm on here. I'm doing my part. This is part of my resistance, by teaching people to be able to stand on their own, to empower them and lift them up. That's what I'm here for you guys. So I hope you guys do the things. I hope you're prepping a little every day. I love you guys, and blessings to you and yours.